Why hello, it's your gal ZomBean back at it again with some more content. Today's a bit of a different video and that requires a little bit of exposition. So here I am filming a vlog. I go outside, I film the water, sunsets, painting my nails, making a smoothie and all that good stuff. And then I'm like, hey, I want to make fluffy Japanese pancakes. Now for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of seeing these amazing videos online, they are these fluffy risen pancakes that look like delicious sponges. Yeah. The idea of making these came to mind after watching one of my favourite channels, How to Cook That, where the lovely Anne Reardon explains to us in one of her debunking videos on how to cook fluffy pancakes. And she makes it look so simple and easy that my inexperienced in baking beanhead was like, hey, I could totally make that. So I ordered a hand whisk, bought a pack of eggs, and got to work on filming my first ever attempt at fluffy pancakes, all the while thinking about how amazing these were going to turn out and what a great addition to my artsy vlog they will be. Oh, how I was wrong. Attempt number 1, the day my vlog turned sour. So I separated 2 eggs, setting the whites in one bowl and the yolks here in this yellow one. I then add my milk and start to add my flour. Mistake number 1. So Anne's recipe measures everything via tablespoons and teaspoons. I've not done a recipe like this before. I usually weigh everything out in grams using scales, or sometimes just eyeball measure things, but shh, we don't talk about that. So I didn't realize that Anne did not mean heaping teaspoons of flour. I go to mix and boom, I have a sugarless crumble mixture. I then add some milk like, hey, I'm sure it'll be fine, and move on to the egg whites. Adding egg white powder and baking powder into my egg whites, I go to whisk and encountered problem number 2. My eggs won't stiffen. At this point, I have been whisking for 25 minutes and don't know why they refuse to be anything more than a sloppy mess. I add in more powder quantities and somehow get this weird sticky mixture that is quite obviously not right. I add it to my yolky flour mix and it's very clear that this consistency just isn't right. Not one to be defeated, I decided to stick it in a pan and made this huge pancake that looks very tasty, but in reality was just like eating a weird bread with fruit on it. Yeah. And so begins attempt number 2, this time with weighing scales. Using a teaspoon to gram calculator online, I weigh out my amounts carefully, realizing now how much over I was with the flour the first time. I whisk together my yolks and they are looking much better. I then go back to my egg whites, confident that this time I will get it right. I was wrong. Yeah. And sometimes when you're wrong, you just want to punch the bowl a little bit, but not enough to make a mess, because, you know, that'll just make you more mad. Attempt number 3, I add another egg white to the mix, but this boy just won't peak. Attempt number 4, I alter the measurements again, just a little bit. Still won't peak. Attempt number 7, so in case you can't tell, I'm incredibly stubborn, and by this point I had put in too much effort and wasted far too many eggs to just give up on this. So I took to Google to figure out where I had gone wrong, and then suddenly I realised, like the absolute moron that I am, I'd just been rinsing the whisk beaters after I'd been done with the yolks. See, now this is a problem, because egg yolks have a lot of fat in them, so even the tiniest bit getting into the whites messes up this whole operation, and my egg whites were going to be forever doomed to be sloppy messes. So I decided, rather than scrubbing my whisk clean after doing the yolks, I was just going to beat the egg whites first, meaning there'd be no chance of me getting any yolk in there. And the moment of truth, the suspense, it is killing me. And they peak! I was so happy, I almost punched the bowl again in excitement. But the road was not over. I had to carefully mix these into the yolk mixture, very gently, as to not ruin the fluffiness that I'd worked so hard for. Okay, mission accomplished. I had to now carefully scoop this mix onto a sheet and cook in the oven. And ta-da! Well, they certainly don't look pretty, but upon ripping them apart, it's clear to see that they are indeed fluffy. So I would consider this a partial success, even though you can clearly see where I hadn't mixed the whites and the yolks properly, and the exterior of them as well, well, they don't look great. I wasn't completely satisfied by these, despite them tasting delicious. I needed to try and make them again, so I whisk again. And another whisk. And I gently mix. And much more carefully than last time, I scoop. And into the oven they go. And the results. Okay, they don't look much better than they did before, but upon closer inspection they are much better. They're fluffier, are mixed better, and generally speaking at this point I'm so sick of pancakes, I'm convinced that these are the best pancakes I've ever made, and they probably are. They may not look like the videos that I see online, but they are certainly beautiful in their own way, and I'm semi-proud of myself for finally getting them right, well, mostly anyway. So yeah, that's the story about how I gave up on my vlog and ate nothing but pancakes and some grapes for a week. As always, if you like this video, then don't forget to hit that like button. If you'd like to see more content like this, then hit that subscribe button. Comment if you're feeling chatty, and I'll see you all next Saturday.
Bye.